Curious about how the Gaza and Ukraine wars are messing with Kashmir's climate? Wondering why your heating room hammam is old system and why the elder population seems to be playing a grim game of hide and seek with death in winters? Well, grab your pillow, dim those lights, and let's dive into this mystery like Sherlock Holmes with a sense of thrill. Kashmir, a land of unparalleled beauty, is now shrouded in an eerie chill. The once serene winters have turned into a relentless freeze, bringing with them a series of unsettling events. Water pipes burst under the pressure of ice, and the elderly die to the merciless cold. But what if you get to know that these harsh winters are not just a local anomaly? What if they are the result of a sinister chain of events set off by distant conflicts? Let's break it down. Firstly, we have to understand that wars have always left a scar on the environment. For example, World War II saw forests razed and pollution rampant, disrupting natural systems. The Vietnam War unleashed chemicals that ravaged ecosystems. The Gulf War's burning oil wells spewed toxic clouds, altering global temperatures. Now, the wars in Gaza and Ukraine are casting a long, dark shadow over the climate. According to new research, the planet-warming emissions generated during the first 2 months of the war in Gaza were greater than the annual carbon footprint of more than 20 of the world's most climate-vulnerable nations. According to the study of carbon-based activities, the climate cost of the first 60 days of Israel's military response was equivalent to burning at least 150,000 tons of coal. I repeat, 150,000 tons of coal. And guess what? Hamas rockets fired into Israel during the same period generated about 713 tons of CO2, which is equivalent to approximately 300 tons of coal. So people underscoring the asymmetry of each side's war machinery are fools, and just remember, fools have their own fan clubs. Back to the subject. The analysis, which is yet to be peer-reviewed, includes CO2 from aircraft missions, tanks and fuel from other vehicles, as well as emissions generated by making and exploding the bombs, artillery and rockets. And don't get shocked about what you're gonna hear now. What will amaze you is this fact that the reconstruction of these structures is expected to result in 46.8 million to 60 million tons of CO2 emissions, equivalent to the annual emissions of more than 135 countries. I repeat, 135 countries. These conflicts are not just battles of bullets and bombs. They are battles against the very air we breathe. Bombings and destruction release greenhouse gases, accelerating global warming and twisting weather patterns into chaos. The polar vortex, once a stable guardian of the Arctic, is now a wild beast, sending icy tendrils into unsuspecting regions like Kashmir. It's absolutely right to quote that only global conflicts are not the reason, as locally, the situation is no less dire. The desperate need for warmth drives people to burn wood, stripping the land of its forest cover. Without these natural protectors, the valley loses its ability to regulate temperature, so cold intensifies and the death toll among elders increases. It is not just an observation, but there is data to suggest this increased winter mortality. All the leading newspapers of Kashmir report a measurable increase in their content on obituary section. In the harsh winter months, from half a page the obituary column expands to almost 2 full pages and more during the winter months compared to the summer and spring times. The data from leading hospitals as well as the births and deaths department confirms the findings that in winter, December to March, more people die. Undoubtedly, the mortality is exorbitantly higher in cold months than the hot summer season. In particular, it is the elderly who get the call and succumb due to a multitude of reasons. Statistically, the elderly have seasonal variation in dying, with highest deaths recorded in winter. This high winter mortality is not surprising and doesn't happen in Kashmir only, as this phenomenon has been observed in many places with harsh winters compared to other seasons. Take northern US, most EU countries, England and Wales, Iran, Hong Kong. All these places have scientifically demonstrated, as the mercury plummets, water pipes freeze solid, cutting off lifelines. Before digging deep, let's understand basic science: why water pipes crack. When water freezes, it expands. This expansion increases the volume of water inside the pipes, which can lead to a buildup of pressure. Back on the subject, in a bid to survive, the people of Kashmir turn to hamam rooms, traditional heated spaces fueled by wood fires. These rooms, once a cultural comfort, now contribute to the environmental crisis. The relentless burning of wood accelerates deforestation and pumps more carbon into the atmosphere, tightening the grip of climate change. But if there would have been enough electricity supply, then the emissions would have been less, resulting in a secure climate. Before moving ahead, you must remember that hamam is approximately 2,000 years old heating system used by mighty Romans and 800 years ago by Turkey. Let's come back to the topic. The war in Ukraine has contributed an emissions of gases. For instance, the emissions from the first 2 years of the conflict surpassed the annual emissions of 175 individual countries. I repeat, 175 countries and 120 dolphins died in the Black Sea, so you can imagine what world we are living, where death seems an only alternative to stay healthy. As we reflect on these challenges, it becomes clear that addressing climate change requires a concerted global effort, recognizing that the actions taken in one part of the world can have profound effects on distant regions. By fostering international cooperation, which is not possible, and promoting sustainable practices which humans are not disciplined to, still we can try work towards a more resilient and stable climate for all. You're craving more data-driven insights on various topics? Hit that subscribe button. Catch you later, and remember to stay as toasty as a grilled cheese sandwich in a cozy cafe during a snowstorm.